Karen's confidence cracked the second those cruisers pulled up. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out, just the flicker of disbelief that someone like her was suddenly not in control. The deputies guided her toward the car as she tried to regain her voice. "This is a mistake," she barked. "I'm the president of the HOA. You can't just—" One deputy interrupted, calm but firm. "Ma'am, we're aware of your position. That's exactly why this is serious." The board members behind her shifted uneasily. One tried to slip away, pretending to check his phone, but another cruiser blocked the exit. The sheriff himself walked up, holding a folder. "Karen Bennett," he said flatly, "you're under investigation for document forgery, impersonating a public official, and attempted fraud." The entire street had gathered now. Curtains opened, phones pointed, whispers filled the air. The Queen of Maplewood was finally exposed. Meanwhile, I was sitting on my porch, still half in disbelief. My wife walked out and handed me a coffee, whispering, "You really didn't have to bring down an entire HOA in 1 week." I smirked. "Didn't plan to. They did that themselves." The next few days were chaos. The HOA office was raided. Boxes of falsified letters, phony fine notices, even blank county seals waiting to be stamped. Turns out Karen had been quietly targeting homeowners whose properties bordered a plot of land she wanted to sell to a developer. Every fine, every boundary adjustment had been part of a massive land grab scheme. When the story hit the local news, it exploded. Headlines read, "HOA president accused of fraud in county seal scandal." By then, Karen was out on bail, pacing her yard like a caged animal. She saw me across the street and shouted, "You ruined me! You have no idea what's coming!" I didn't even stand up. "You brought this on yourself, Karen. You forgot that some of us actually read the laws you fake." Her glare could have burned through steel, but it didn't matter anymore. Her power was gone. The board disbanded within a week. Neighbors held a meeting to dissolve the HOA entirely, and the developer backed out of the land deal completely. For the first time in years, our street felt like a community again. Kids played basketball on driveways without getting fined. People laughed on their porches. The fear was gone. I looked at the deed to my land one last time, the same one she'd tried to erase, and said quietly to myself, "Funny how the truth doesn't need a stamp to prove it's real." Viral line, "She tried to take my house, now she doesn't even have one." By the next morning, Karen had gone full crusade mode. Flyers were taped to mailboxes up and down the road. "Unauthorized structure under investigation," with my address printed in bold. She even managed to get a few nervous neighbors to sign a petition demanding my removal. But what really pushed it over the edge was the knock on my door that afternoon. 2 men in black polos stood there, badges clipped to their belts. "Sir, we're here to deliver a notice of property seizure," one said flatly. I scanned the papers. They looked official, full of seals and legal jargon, but something didn't sit right. The wording was sloppy. The county clerk's name was misspelled, and the notary stamp expired 2 years ago. "Who sent this?" I asked. "The Maplewood HOA board," the taller one said. I chuckled. "Then maybe they should learn how to forge documents properly." He frowned. "Excuse me?" "Yeah," I said, holding the paper up. "I actually work for the county registrar's office. I know what a fake filing looks like." His face changed instantly. "Wait, you're with the registrar?" "That's right," I said calmly. "And since you're serving falsified documents, I suggest you stick around for the deputies." The men exchanged a glance, muttered something under their breath, and bolted back to their car. I snapped a picture of the plate before they peeled out. An hour later, I walked into the county office with the evidence in hand. My boss took one look and said, "They forged our seal? Oh, this is bad for them." Within minutes, the DA's office was notified. That evening, as I sat on the porch, Karen marched down the sidewalk with 2 HOA board members in tow. She pointed at me, shouting, "You think your job makes you untouchable? We'll have this entire property condemned." I leaned back in my chair, smirking. "Funny thing about that, Karen. The DA wants to talk to you about some forged government seals."
You should probably pick up your phone." Her face went pale. What did you—" Before she could finish, 3 sheriff cruisers turned the corner and stopped right in front of my yard. Karen froze. The deputy stepped out, heading straight for her. "Mrs. Bennett, we have a warrant to search your HOA office for falsified documents." The color drained from her face completely. Viral line: "She brought fake cops to my house, then met the real ones at hers."
It started with a single letter. Plain envelope, no logo, just my address and a bold red stamp that said, "Urgent Notice." Inside, a 2-line message that made my stomach drop. "Your property violates HOA zoning boundaries. You have 10 days to vacate or face seizure." Vacate? I'd lived there for 6 years, paid cash for the land, never once missed a tax payment. And the kicker? My house wasn't even inside their HOA. I thought it had to be a clerical error until the next morning when a woman in a pearl necklace and oversized sunglasses marched up my driveway like she owned the place. She introduced herself with a smirk. "I'm Karen Bennett, president of the Maplewood HOA. You've built within our community's jurisdiction." I raised an eyebrow. "Pretty sure my deed says otherwise." She didn't blink. "We've updated the boundaries. You'll need to comply with our regulations or we'll move forward legally." I laughed, shaking my head. "Updated? You can't just redraw a map and claim my land." Karen's smile sharpened. "Oh, you'll learn how this works." That's when I realized this wasn't about rules, it was about control. She looked at my new solar panels, my fresh paint job, the truck parked out front. She didn't want compliance, she wanted to break me in front of everyone else. 2 days later, I woke up to the sound of heavy machinery. An HOA tow truck was in my driveway, chains hooked to my pickup. I ran outside yelling, "Get off my property!" The driver shrugged. "Order from the board." "Board?" I barked. "You're on private land." He hesitated, and that's when Karen appeared again, phone in hand, recording me. "This is non-compliance. He's threatening an HOA worker." I stared at her, disbelief turning into a slow grin. "You know what, Karen? Keep recording. You're about to go viral." I pulled my own phone out and started streaming live. "Everyone watching, this HOA's trying to steal private property." Within minutes, hundreds were tuned in. Neighbors stepped out with their phones too. The driver froze, unsure what to do. Karen's smirk wavered as she realized she wasn't in control anymore. Viral line: "She thought she could rewrite the map. Turns out I wrote the law."